But of course, we will be getting budget views and budget opinions from the stalwarts of the industry. We have one that we will dip into in just a few minutes. But before we move to that, what does this increase in STT mean for traders? Sajid is standing by with more on that. Sajid, for a layman, the increase in STT might not be significant, but if you're an intraday derivative trader, the impact could be pretty large, I'd imagine.
That's right. You have to break it up into two factions. The first one being the kind of cost which is there for transaction and basically STT from a retail point of view. If you look at what has happened is that for a trade of 1 crore, especially in options, the price has gone up. The kind of STT that you have to pay has gone up to nearly 10,000 rupees per crore, and that's from 6,250 rupees. And the same for futures has gone up from 1,250 to 2,000 rupees. Now it looks big on a trade of 1 crore, but if you look at the market breakup, a large portion of that is done through proprietary traders, and then you have what you call the retail traders, and that's where a lot of volumes are coming in, and that's what is a cause of worry for regulators as well and the government. The average ticket size there, or the trade size there for, in FY25, it's nearly 6,000 odd rupees, and the cost for them has nearly gone up by 2.3 rupees per that average ticket size. So that's very minuscule for them in the entire scheme of things. If you look at how a trader would be doing it, they may be buying one contract or two contract, and then paying the premium on it, and on that 2 rupees is not going to make much of a dent. But on a quantum wise, the STTs have gone up by nearly 60%. The government has increased by 60%. And the government is aware of the fact that even though they have increased by 60%, it's not going to make a significant dent, because now the next step has to be from the regulators, who are going to bring in some kind of restrictions or curbs for retailers to, or make it expensive for the retailers to do it. My understanding is that because of a lot of chatter which has been happening on FNO, there is a regulatory committee which has been formed, and SEBI has a secondary market advisory committee which has already recommended to the board or to SEBI, and now SEBI is working on the final contours of the consultation paper which will come out soon. And as part of that consultation paper, the first thing which is there to increase the lot size by 4 to 5 times. So if you're looking at today from a retail point of view, if you're looking at 6,000 being the trade ticket size, that may go up to 25 or 30,000. Now that becomes a bigger chunk so you have the fringe people on the fringe moving away from it, because now the cost of trading in a contract goes up from 6,000 to 30,000, and when you do that, there's a corresponding impact on the margins that they have to place in, and that also brings in more. And then the cost of trading also goes up, because the trading what you do give it to the brokers is not based on contract but on turnover. So the turnover fees also goes up, and then you have the stamp duty that goes up, then you have the brokerage that goes up, everything goes up, and that increases the cost of doing a trade for Indian FNO market. Proprietary traders may not be impacted much, because they don't have that kind of cost structure there, because they are using their own books to do it. But for retailers, it will impact if all these things come together, because STT is going to come from October 1st, and likely that if SEBI brings out the consultation paper and finally it implements it, it's assumed that by the third quarter of this calendar year it will come into play. So both of them coming together into play will cool down some bit of volumes in the market, that's expected. But the total revenue, assuming that no volume is going to change based on what we have seen in April and May, the addition is nearly 5,000 odd crores for the government. So that's minuscule amount of revenues addition coming to the government. But the impact is something which is more important to look at.
And especially because the difference between a profitable and a loss-making trade is so marginal in that sense, right? It's largely expenses that make you a successful intraday trader or not successful intraday trader. But there will, I'm sure, traders, the brave hearts will find a way around this. They'll pick up strategies and derivative calls and stocks that may actually help them make more money on smaller or fewer trades.